Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Wednesday, September 7th, and welcome to an all-new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today has been on the show previously, and he is now here to join me for an exclusive sit-down interview. Joining me today, ladies and gentlemen, we have my brother, my best friend, K-Toops, a host of the K-Toops Spot. So let me share this live and get him in here. I'm so excited, y'all! I finally got it. It wasn't letting me do it. But I'm going to add my very special guest, my brother, my best friend. He is everything and he tolerates putting up with me. So I'm happy to be here, you guys. I hope you guys are feeling awesome. Joining me today, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mr. K-Toops. Wait a minute, let me add you, brother. Hold on one sec. You're just now joining in.
Hey,
Hey, brother, how are you?
good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm doing well.
Welcome to the dollhouse. We
I,
finally got it right. We had some
I
technical
know,
issues.
I know you've been trying to get this together.
Yes, I had to update and then come back and do it, and now we're here. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
we are here, and I'm ready.
All right, fashion dolls, let's dive right
Oh,
into this
y'all,
interview.
I'm gonna close that a little bit for y'all. Okay, so I'm ready.
We're perfect. We can see you now. All right. I see you guys are coming in. Make sure you share the live, let everyone know. And this will be on YouTube. So I will combine K2 Spot, head on over to the K2 Spot. I did an interview with him back in June. So make sure you guys go back and check that out. Great interview. We're just gonna go natural. We're just gonna dive
Yep.
right into it. So tell us, how did the K2 Spot come to be? How did your platform come to be? Because you've been doing this a little bit longer than me. I started in 2017.
Okay, I started December 2012.
Yep.
Hey, everybody, comments. And when I started, it was more like I kept seeing the same YouTube channels do, talk about the same people all the time, and I'm saying, okay, if they can do it, I can do this, and I'm gonna do something different. Because you used to hear everybody talk about, like, I know some of the others in the past who
Yeah.
opened the door, like the Scorpion Show and all the others. They will talk about Beyonce this, Beyonce that. Then you check other sites, which I love Beyonce, y'all. Don't come for me. But I feel like we need to see other artists flourishing,
Yeah.
different people. So I said, let me start my own, because I already had a YouTube channel, but I never made it into like my show. So what made me think about it was that I was thinking of names, and I said, "What can I do?" Because when I was in college, um, they give you your email address, but they use the first letter of your name and then your
Yeah.
last name. So I said K-Tooks, and then I said, you know what? That's a little too corny, but let me figure out what to do. And then I was watching the episode of Girlfriends, and I remember Joan had the restaurant, the J Spot. So I said, I'll call it that, the K-Took Spot, and that's how the name came. And look where we are in December of this year. It's gonna make it 10 years since I started.
Yes, you started in 2012. I started right after high school, 2017. So you've been
Mm-hmm.
doing it way longer than I have. And we both have a common group of people. Some of them are here
Yeah,
that we've networked
Brown,
with. Yes. Chrissy is here.
Chris is
Tony,
here.
of course.
Mm-hmm.
So many others. We both have a passion for something, and we both have that passion, and that is music. We are both big music lovers. And for artists, we have the same taste of music. That's how me and K2 clicked. No, and we actually met when I did my interview with, I think, Don. That's how we met,
We sure
right?
did. We sure
Yes.
did.
And afterwards, we never knew that we had the discovery of loving the same thing, and that is the same taste in music, the same artist.
Mm-hmm.
K2's like Mariah Carey. I'm a big Mariah Carey fan. Of course, I love Beyonce, as you guys can tell. I've been
They
flooding
got
my stories.
they got the shirt on too.
Renaissance is out right now, and it's
Get
sold
the
out
I got
worldwide. Yes. So we both have the same taste of music, the same group of people. Out of all of your interviews that you've done, like I said, because you've done this longer than me, and I'm giving you all of your flowers, brother, because you've been doing it longer than me. I started in 2017, just just got out of high school, didn't know what I wanted to do, but you went to college for it and everything. And I just wanted to give you your flowers for that. You've been doing it longer than I have. So out of all of your interviews, because you asked me when we did our interview, now it's my turn to ask you. My hand, the tables are turned. Out of all of your interviews, which one would have to be a special place? Which one holds a special place in your heart?
Okay, to answer, I could really answer that question. It's really two interviews, but since you asked me which one is the one that means dear to my heart, will probably be the one with Dawn Robinson.
Our girl.
Yeah, our girl, because I've known her for 15 years. We've been friends for that long. So that one was one of those where it was, she agreed, because I'd have, some people, they have to go through, their peoples. I'd have to go through her peoples. Since we've been friends for so long, she said, of course I'll do your show in a heartbeat. So I have to thank her for that. So shout out to Dawn. And we've been friends, so it was just the right timing when it happened. And then another one, I'm going to say this one that's almost tied with Dawn is the one with Shanice, who we both know. So,
yeah.
Because she's a family friend also. Because her and my cousin Candy, they're like besties. So they're like besties. So I didn't know that until after I did the interview. And it was just a small world after that.
Yeah, definitely is. And both of these women that you named that are in the music industry, everybody talks about Beyonce, of course, but it's other artists out here, like you said in the beginning of the interview, it's other artists that deserve to have their flowers and shine as well too. Like En Vogue, we all know Dawn from En Vogue. En Vogue was the first girl group that came out in the 90s. So when we talk about giving artists their shine, we give all of their flowers and their recognition here on our platform. And there might be some artists you might be like, okay, if you go back and you listen to their music, you might remember who they are. They're coming, and they're bringing new projects and so much things. So for you, how does it feel to have that platform to be able to have artists to come on and dish about their new projects and dish about their music and the things that we love, which is the
You know what? It's actually liberating to me because that's what I wanted for the platform. Because at first, when I first started doing the K2 spot, it was more of just doing like music reviews and TV reviews and, like all stuff like that.
Yes.
But then I went to do the interviews because I did one before the one with Dawn and Shanice. And, at first I was just a little like a little insecure because I wasn't sure. I wasn't confident enough. But then I let it go for a bit. But then when COVID happened, when we had the lockdown, that's what made me want to get back to it. I said, you know what? Let me get that off my bucket list of trying to get something done that I said I wanted to do instead of putting it off. And it's been like that ever since. But just for the different artists and like even some of the actors and actresses you see me interview, just a lot of them are good friends of mine. Well, the majority of everybody who I've interviewed, they're good friends. So it's not like I had to really go deep or really have to beg anybody. It's just that a lot of them already seen my stuff and they said, oh, I want to come on your platform. But to me, it's just actually one of the best things I've ever done. And it actually keeps my creativity of my mind going when I have different ideas.
And you do music reviews on your channels, on albums, and you also review shows as well too. Shout outs to Jay Evans Talks as well. So we all kind of in the same arena. We do review. Well, it's been a minute since I've done a review on a show. I used to do them when I started off like on the web series arena, like the Chasing Atlanta, so many others, kind of how we started off. And then we took off and just ventured to Housewives and so many other platforms, Netflix and so many others. So how does it feel to do the show reviews and then have the person from the show come on your platform? I know for me, it's nerve-wracking because you reviewed it and this person has watched it. So for you, how does that make you feel?
Ooh, that's a good question. For me, I'll say this. For me, when I have reviewed reality shows, TV shows, people who I have interviewed, anything I've said behind anybody's back or had my opinions about, I've said it to their face. So it doesn't really bother me because at the end of the day, they know because I present myself in a way where if you could dish it, you should be able to take it if somebody throws it right back at you. And that's just how I've always been, especially in my life. So it doesn't really bother me because I've never really had no hate from people. I've had certain people, not who I've reviewed stuff from, but like other people from other platforms who in the beginning were very rude and disrespectful, but then when they really got to know me, because I never said nothing to them to give them that impression. I think maybe they just had a bad day or probably wasn't thinking. And then they've come up and apologized to me. So it's not really nothing major. Because I know some people, they'd be like, really? That's what happened? It didn't really bother me. I just feel like if you put yourself out there in a good way, it's going to come up in a good way where people are going to respect you. Just like for you, when you do your stuff, you may have an opinion about somebody, but at the end of the day, they know you're doing your job. At the same time, you're not getting profits from this. You're doing what you love to do. Now, of course,
Right.
the money's good. You do get the profits for it, but it's nothing to sell. But it's nothing like to sell your soul or anything like that, just to get a review or just to get some views. No.
At all. It's not even like that. You're doing what you love. You're doing what you love. You're passionate about it. It's music. It's these things that we love, our shows, the things that people watch out here nowadays. And it's therapeutic also in a way as well. So you're going to have people who have had the opposite of you. So for you, how do you deal with people who come? Have you ever had an experience? Because you asked me in the interview. Now it's my turn to ask you. Have you ever had an interview where you felt the vibe was off, or it's just like, like, okay.
Yes, I did. And it was with Evil Twin because I know he was very lit on that interview. But at the end of the
I
day,
love that interview though. You
it,
know
it,
why?
so, first, but then at the end of the day, after the interview, I think he saw himself, but he apologized. He apologized to me, so it was all good. So it's like at first I was a little mad at him, but then when we talked about it off camera, we were okay. But I didn't have, but that was basically the one that kind of was like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? But I try to say to myself, keep on going.
And you did. You handled it very professionally. And I told you how I felt about it. I mean, you're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
have interviews where people cut up a little bit, where they show out, and you kind of have to. Even though you're on the inside, you're mad. You can't show it.
Hmm.
When you go home at the end of the day or whatever, when you get off
Hmm.
live, you kind of want to chuckle and laugh about it, like,
Yeah.
wow, it is kind of humorous when you think about it. But I
Yeah.
definitely can understand. Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I laugh about it now. But my shout outs to him because I know he has monkeypox and everything. I know he's been going through it. So my
Mhm.
heart goes out to him, prayers and everything.
Yes, and AM Lisa Allen Lewis says integrity is key. Absolutely, and keeping your
Absolutely.
sanity. So for you, before you do the interviews, because this is literally my brother. He is like my brother. I've adopted him. He's like
And
my
she's
brother, and I
we
call him.
we've had these moments where we'll call each other before our interviews, be like, I don't know what to do. Should I do this?
Yes. So nerves. How do you handle with doing these interviews? And the same goes both ways. It's just the roles have reversed because I'm normally the one that's calling K Toots, or either if not K Toots, Island Yankee or Tony. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, this woman, this girl. I know they got to be tired of me, but they give me advice, and those are the
Mm-hmm.
people you need in your life. So for you, how do you handle the nerves before doing an interview? Because it can be nerve wracking.
I knew this question was gonna come. It depends on who it is and what exactly is going on with the interview. But usually for my nerves, I'm usually and my mom can tell you this, you can say this, and Kenny and Tony and the rest of them can say, I have my moments where I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is happening. Is everything right? Do I have the right outfit on? Is this gonna look good on the camera? But usually I have to take a tiny little, I'm not gonna lie. And if any of my family was watching this, I'm gonna keep it real. Because you guys want realness, I'm gonna keep it real. Sometimes I have to take a tiny little shot of vodka just to calm my nerves, or I'll just drink some water. Either or, I do either or, and then I just stay calm and just start it. Because I said to myself, if you're gonna put interview people, you got to have the moments, even when you're having a bad day, you got to suck it up and just, like I was saying before, keep on going, but at the same time, know what your audience wants by being yourself and staying professional, and don't sweat the small stuff because whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Absolutely. I remember I was so mad when I did a show and my guest came on and he just sort of calmed me down. He sung and he just sort of calmed me down out of the moment. And I think you remember that because I told you about it too. And he was just like, cool, stay calm, relax, breathe. You're going to be fine. And yeah, things like that happen to kind of throw you off, but you have to find yourself back in balance. And I know for me, I like my candle, my Palo Santo. That is my favorite scent that relaxes me, that soothes me. Or I will read a book, or I will literally put on some music while I'm in the process of getting ready for the show. And that soothes me and calms me as well too. So
That's
find that out there.
that's another one, music too. But go ahead.
Yeah, find that outlet for you because doing interviews can be nerve wracking. You never know what you're going to get with the guest. You never know what type of interview about. And I love to leave my guests with a lasting impression where it's like, okay, she's calm. I can feel comfortable with talking to her. And your guests too. I've sat back and I've watched some of your interviews, and some of your guests were just like, I feel comfortable and calm with talking to you or messaging you. And the audience won't know what's going on, but
Mm-hmm.
definitely it's good to build that bond with the talk show host and talk to that host. Make your guests feel comfortable. You're the therapist in that moment. You're not licensed clinical therapists, but we're the therapist to listen to what they're going through or whatever it is. And we allow them to tell their story on our platforms. And that story impacts other people's lives.
Yeah.
Breathing helps with nerves sometimes. Absolutely. And
Oh
plenty of
yeah.
times, this man here has told me to breathe, relax. Island Yankee also as well too. Island
Uh,
Yankee's version of love is a little bit different than
he's
K2's.
he
K2's will handle it gently and delicately. No
calmly.
shade the girl, but Island Yankee will give it to me real. And those are the people that I need in my life. These two men I'm proud to call my brothers. They have defended me and stood up for me and given me advice through thick and thin. And I'm glad to have them in my life. So I don't know where I would be without them. This platform would not be where it's at without these two men. Well, you got Kenny, Tony, shout outs to them also as well too. These
Exactly.
four
Kenny,
men in
love
my
you.
life. Yes. You need to Billie Holiday solitude to help calm you. You know who said that. Y'all already know who said that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But yes, doing interviews can be nerve wracking. So, what's next for the future of the K2 spot? Because I know you took a hiatus. You and I both know why.
Mm-hmm.
You took a break. We haven't really been seeing shows from you, and I can understand because you even told me that one time about taking breaks from your mental health. So, how important are taking breaks for you and finding the balance? Because I know mom is there. Mom is watching. Hi, mom, and she loves the show here as well too. So, how do you find that balance of family and versus the K2 spot, the talk show host?
Okay. Family wise, they know what I do, so it's not really that bad because they understand when I tell them I'm doing an interview at a certain time because I let them know once you guys all know
Yeah.
about it, they know about it. So usually they be the ones that okay, what time? Or I watch it on YouTube. So it's not really that bad. Family thing, it's family. So I when it's family time, I spend time with family. But when they know I have to do an interview, they don't really bother me. They'll watch, and sometimes when they're watching, not really watching live, but if they're watching on YouTube or even if they watch it live, some of them they'll message me. And, sometimes they'll throw a little shade, but it's all good because I'd rather them be honest with me than to lie in front of my face. Now, as far as the K2 spot is going, the K2 spot is gonna keep on going because I have the Facebook group page, so people who don't have who have a platform, but they don't have they have a platform, but they don't know where else they
So
can share
why? Right.
to, like Instagram, because sometimes it doesn't work for everybody. You need another push to how can I say gain traffic to your content. But it's not really that bad to balance it all. It's just the time, like you said, when I took a hiatus, because I took a month off. And the month off, it was just try to get, like, when I'm not doing K2 spot, I have a regular job, which you already know. So when I'm at the job, I get the job situation done. So when it's my days off, that's when you guys see me do my interviews. So it's not really that bad. I just learned to prioritize everything and I write everything down. Like I have like a calendar or on my phone I'll say, okay, this is when I'm doing an interview, and I try to plan it out when it's my days off, so that way I can still have family time, still have my personal me time, and still have the K2 spot time.
Absolutely. Go ahead. I'm
And
sorry.
no, you could. And then answer the other question that you asked before, what's next? You're going to get more interviews. Who knows, you may get another. I may start going back to doing music reviews. It just has to be the right project for me to go back to it, because it's been a while. I think the last one I did probably was either V Brown's project. His project is the last one I think I did. It was either him or maybe Ronnie VLP, but I know, or my friend Fabian 305. It was one of those three, because I know I did those like reviews.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens, because I didn't want to do the, like we talking about Queen Bees, because I don't want to hear nobody come for me if I feel a certain way about a certain
And you
song.
know the beehive run high.
Because the Beehives, they come for blood.
I'll say about that project. It's two songs that I mean, I know everybody likes this one, Church Girl, and then what's the other one? Plastic Off the Sofa. It's something about that song. I'm gonna be the first to say it. I don't really like those two songs too well, but all the other songs I can definitely get with. Like I want something that's up tempo that I can date.
Okay.
V
Does
Brown at the same wants to know the K2 same too.
Now, V Brown, you know that answer right there, but you ain't gonna get nothing on here. So I'm letting you know that for a fact.
We try to put you on the spot.
You
Welcome
got
if
to put
you
me.
just joined in. Such a good speaking voice, and I've always meant to ask.
But to answer his question, I can sing, but I'm not one of those. I leave it to V Brown and the others. Some of my other friends do that. I can sing, I can carry a note and all, but that's not what I really want to do. If it happens, it happens, but I don't see that happening at the moment.
We'll sing along in the car with the radio, and then
Okay.
I will grab my curling iron or hairbrush, and you'll see me sing.
Now I can hold a tune. Now, some of my other family members, they can't hold no tune. I ain't gonna go there with them. Because my mom and I, we can sing. We goof around and be silly, but we can sing.
Mm-hmm.
And plus I'm around so many friends that can sing, so it's not like, oh, it's new, like nothing new to me, because a lot of people who may not know, people who are childhood friends of mine, it's like Pleasure P from Pretty Ricky.
Yeah.
I know Urban Mystic, who you had on your show. I know because Pleasure P and him and Urban Mystic, we all went to the same middle school. We were classmates.
See, you learned something new. For those of you who are just joining in, you learned something new.
A lot of people don't know that. Just like I've and even people, because a lot of them that you guys see like on the, out there with music, I see them all the time. So it's nothing new to me. Like, you see the other guys from Pretty Ricky. Like the other day I bumped into at my job, I saw Spectacular. So like, you see somebody, or sometimes I may see Ronnie VLP. So it's like I see everybody. And then a lot of people don't know my cousin was the late Betty Wright. So you
learn
grow up,
something new. Small world in the music business.
Yeah, you grow up with people. So it's like there's nothing new to me. So that's all it is.
So for you, and I'm asking you as a talk show host, one talk show host to another, but how do you feel about the current state of music? Because we both like the same era of music, that 90s throwback, the Mariah Carey, the Tevin Campbells, the Whitney Houstons, Usher, all of these artists that, were hot then and they still are, that are still making hits back to back. How do you feel about the current state of music?
To answer that question with the music, I like some of it and some I don't like. So it's a half and half thing for me. I'm more of like the old school, like we were talking about the 90s and all, like, like the Brandies, the Destiny's Child, like Beyonce, Kelly, and all them, like Michelle Williams. And then, also even the other girls that were part of the group, like other girls that were in the group, like Latavia Roberson, Latoya Luckett. I respect them. Even like the Jill Scotts, the Erykah Badu's, and even like Tevin Campbell, like you said. and Usher. Usher is a family friend also. People don't know that. So it's nothing like, oh, because I know that Diddy made that comment saying R&B is dead, but it's really not. It's really not. It's just that you don't have the right stuff out there. They're putting like the same stuff out there to try to play us, but really don't know that there's other artists out there. Like you have Sergio that's out there. You have Ronnie VLP. You have so many different people. If people just really get the chance of looking instead of trying to being spoiled with people just telling them with the radio, you'll find a lot of good music. Because even you,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, even you know, because you've interviewed a lot of them that people don't even know, and they're really great artists.
Yeah, indie artists. A lot of them are independent indie artists. Like last Friday we have John Nicholson, and
Mm-hmm.
he was talking about being an independent artist and going and creating his own label. And speaking of music, shout outs to Jay Evans Official, who's also did some interviews with artists that we might know as
Yeah.
well too during that era of music. So definitely head on over, subscribe to his channel. We just spoke about you a few minutes ago and was talking about your platform and how amazing and awesome it is. So you guys head on over and support. It's like a content creator circle. We have our circle where we keep in touch with each other. Kenny, Tony, Jay Evans, K Toops, myself, and then there's so many others that'll come right in. Yeah, it's so many. So yeah, we were talking about the current state of R&B music, and I disagree with that comment. Singers back then gave timeless music, and artists today give music for the current time, but it doesn't have longevity.
That's very
You know what? That is so true.
That's
like the artists during that time gave us hit after hit, and they would stick on the top of the charts, not throwing shade or throwing subliminals, but they would remain on the top of those charts, and people would go through. And now you got where it's like, okay, you downloaded a stream, it's how many streams and downloads and things like that. Like it's fast forward to the 20th century era. Whereas back then you go straight to the record store and I collect CDs. I'm not gonna lie, I have a stack of CDs from every artist, from Janet to Mariah to Maya to Destiny's Child to TLC. Like the list goes on and on. I am a music head junkie, and I still even collect my. How many of you guys remember the cassettes, the little cassettes? And you got to turn it over, side A, side B. I collect those as well too. Now, one thing I will not collect, and I've learned that if I mess with it, I would get my butt cut. Being younger, is those vinyls. My father has vinyls, and I'm talking Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and the Supremes. Everyone from the Motown era, Smokey Robinson, all of them. People take away from R&B, but don't give back to it. They're trying to throw out my CDs in my house. Yes, keep them, collect them. And a lot of people are selling them and stuff like that. Those are collector's items. And especially if it's like a limited edition album or something, like Nirvana, for example, or the Beatles. Those are collector's items.
Those are collectors. A lot of money, even if you do something, you can make that money.
Yes, I'm the season.
Yes,
I'm the reason why BMG Columbia House went out of business. Oh yeah, you would flip through the magazines back in the day, and they would say you can get this amount of CDs and cassettes for this right here for $1 and some change. But it would be some other stuff that would come along with it. That thing would build up and build up. My grandmother used to get the magazines in the mail, and you could flip through VHS to like we're now in the age where it's about how many streams you get. Billboard is counting, and so many other things. Whereas back then, it will be on the top of the charts. You can go through Billboard magazine and find out. And then if you buy the album, the cassette or CD, Walmart used to have it where you could they would have the CDs in like this little rectangular thing, and you would put it in front of there and put the earphones in, and if you wanted to listen to a track,
I remember that.
So times have changed. Oh, I have so many limited editions and autographed digital music is erasing people's original versions. What are your thoughts on that?
Digital music is erasing people. Well, I have so many limited editions and autographed digital. I see it, but a lot of it, I think, it's just depending on how you do it. Because you can see, like you said, CD albums are permanent. But I think you do it right. If you take care of your stuff, who knows? Because I still have CDs. Like I got to just get me a new stereo, and like a new stereo and everything, and still do the CDs. I don't have a problem with that because I feel like when you just listen to digital or just listen to your car, sometimes you may get bored from it. So it's like you want to hear a certain song or maybe just a certain album you want to listen to.
Yeah.
You want to do that because I could tell you straight up, two of my favorite albums of all time, I could tell you this, is Brandy's Never Say Never album
Mm.
and Lauryn Hill's The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I could play those CDs and not skip no song.
Classic. Those are two classics right there you just named. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, that one won her so
Five
many Grammys.
Grammys. Oh my
And,
goodness.
and it still resonates with people today. So
Yeah.
definitely. I think you should review that one and talk about how iconic the album is because it is definitely iconic.
Yeah.
Um,
But see, a lot of these younger ones, they're trying to do it, but they're not doing it. They're trying to do it where they weren't even born around that time. And I feel like, okay, you weren't born around that time, so you're gonna take it differently compared to how when we were growing up,
yeah,
had that feeling and you knew what was up. People don't think about it like
absolutely.
that.
And
But
I
thank God for
surely
verses.
wish somebody. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but like verses, thank goodness for verses that a lot of people who have done the verses, I've noticed it that everybody's album sales have increased. Like when they did the Brandy versus Monica verses, that grew their album sales. It grew. I just found out with Patti LaBelle and I think Dionne Warwick. They did
Okay.
that. Did it for a lot of people, even with Jill Scott and Erykah Badu. So it's a good tool when the verses. It helps out a lot of the artists, but then it gets people to remember the times, like you said, and then it can help
Yeah.
make them more money. And as you were saying, Miss
That,
Stevie.
that nostalgia, that feeling. So many Robert Kelly written songs are gone, but I have my CDs. I surely someone made a comment. I think it was Jay Evans. Keep holding on to your stuff when you collect your CDs and your music. The first cassette tape that I got would have had to been TLC's Fan Mail. And
Love
I
that.
remember the cassette wore out and the brown stuff in the inside of the cassette
Yeah.
came out. I was devastated. I'm like, how am I going to get it back? So I bought it. I had bought it 4 times and I finally got the CD and I've got 2 copies of it. So in case, I know the CD is not going to break, it's not going to wear out. It's still over there. I said, oh, I'm going to see. I remember going to the record store. This was at the time, it was FYE and it was Goodies or something like that, Sam Goodies or something.
Yeah, goodies. Yep.
Um, I seen it in there and I said, oh, I'm picking this up and I got it. And it was the last one. So Fan Mail was the first cassette ever that I got. And then I added on to the collection with Mary J. Blige and Mickey Howard and all of these other amazing artists,
Love,
Phyllis Hyman,
love
Sade. The
Sade.
list
Oh,
went on and on. And my father would go to the flea markets and find them. They would be a quarter. They would be 25 cents. And you could pick them up and take them home with you. So yeah.
yeah. That's where you find the good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Vintage vinyl. Now
Vinyl.
that vinyl, yeah.
Patty and
I,
Glass. I'm sorry.
I
Thank you for refreshing me. That was I got it mixed up. It was Dionne Warwick,
Patty LaBelle
and, but it's Patty LaBelle and Gladys. It did increase her sales. I think it was Dionne Warwick, and yes, help me out with that. Please let me know. No, it was Dionne. It's somebody else. I can't remember who it was. But anyway, it's the truth. Stuff like that, like how you were saying, music like that is classic. It's vintage vinyl. But I've noticed lately a lot of vinyl is coming back.
Yes, they're doing it with the modern age albums. I remember I went into the electronic section in Walmart and they had Ariana Grande on vinyl and all of these other artists. So they're now taking your shirt, Beyonce's Renaissance is a vinyl album. So
Heard about that? Yeah.
the current artists are now doing vinyl records with their albums and projects as well too, and they're getting streams. So it's also healthy for people who out there who collect vinyl records and who have a record.
But yeah, it helps.
Music back in the days gave us substance and nostalgia, and that's what people are looking for. When this pandemic first hit in 2020, a lot of people were like, "We need something." You know, we're pent up in the house. We want to be able to go to concerts and see our favorite artists. And now things have opened back up fully. So people are going to see their favorite artists in concert, and they're getting that feeling of nostalgia. Just this recently, it was yesterday, Tevin Campbell went up on stage with Usher, and
Yeah,
that was amazing. Right?
That was a monumental moment because a lot of people don't know that originally, before Tevin Campbell did that song, they wanted Usher to sing that song. People don't know that.
See, and then
And I think
Anita
it would
Baker was in the
have been
audience.
totally different.
He sung to her. So yeah, that feeling, that nostalgia that people are looking for is slowly but surely coming back.
It is. You're right.
All right, we're going to take some questions, Fashion Dolls, from my brother here, K Toops, where we're talking about the current state of music. You can ask him anything. So whatever you want to ask, go take it away. This is an amazing convo. See, it's not really an interview. It's just like you're catching up with your brother.
This is
took a hiatus.
conversation.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions in the comments, CD album is permanent. Yes, it is. B. Brown, actor, singer, and I prefer a CD album better than the cassette because you will wear that cassette out. Another cassette that I got was the Mary J. Blige, What's the 411. I told you guys Mary was a part of the collection, and that one was one that I wore out as well too. So yeah, I hate it. Like you listen to it religiously. You find a song on the album and you listen to that song religiously.
When you said that, you made me think of like the My Life album, Share My World, the Mary album. What else did I love? On the Breakthrough. Those are like my top favorite Mary J. Blige album. Don't get me wrong. What's the 411 is on that list too. So I don't want nobody coming for me.
Yeah, that's where it all started.
Exactly.
That album right there in particular. My father got it for me. So yeah, my collection of cassettes build up, and I have to go back and dig in the bin and look for them. Someone posted something just the other day on their page asking, do you prefer this than this in music? When they were talking about the CDs, the vinyls, and things like that. I kind of find that. And there's a question from you from Chrissy. Chrissy wants to know, how
do you feel when pop music artists take away from R&B music like they created? Okay. Chris and I have talked about this because he's one of my best friends, so he knows. So Stevie's one of my best friends. They both know this, but I will answer it for everybody. I don't like it, but I feel like it's the industry that does it because a lot of, like, we're going to give some prime examples. Like back then when it was the 90s and the early 2000s, when the pop explosion had happened, when it came back to like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, like Mandy Moore, Jessica Simpson, they were marketing them all as pop artists, and really they were singing R&B. So that's why you didn't really see a lot of them, because at that time you had Brandy that was doing her thing, you had Aaliyah doing her thing, you had Monica doing her thing, Maya. So I feel like a lot of those artists, they're packaged a certain way. A lot of them, they're very talented, and you see who's still out there. Even if they don't do the music, they're doing acting. They're trying to do other stuff. So I feel like it's the industry, and I feel like they try to make it a black-white thing, especially when you have artists like Adele, who really, if you think about it, if it wasn't for the late Amy Winehouse, you wouldn't really have Adele.
Oh, yeah.
And just like they do R&B, but Amy Winehouse and Adele, even though they do what they do, they consider it pop, that's R&B soul, because you hear it all the time. So it's like, come on now. We know what's going on. We're not stupid.
And I meant to think about something too. Pink, even when Pink started, it was more so pop R&B, and then she just went into her own lane with the rock infused with pop. So she switched it up a little bit. So yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we got two more questions.
Oh yeah, we do. We got a two-part question.
Yes.
We got two-part. You see, Sage from JMC said, question for you both. What artists alive would you want to review? Ooh. Oh, wow.
Who would I want to review? I would have to say Ari Lennox. I feel like Ari Lennox does not get her just due. She's underrated. She's an amazing artist. amazing singer and songwriter. And I feel like she could have the success of a Summer Walker. And not
Yeah,
trying to compare or contrast, but both of these ladies should be on the same levels. I feel as Ari should be on the same level as a Beyonce, as a Rihanna, any artist out there. She's super talented, so I would definitely love to be Ari.
and it's funny you said Ari Lennox because I've reviewed her music before. She's shown me love, so I have number love for Ari Lennox. If you're watching this, you know I love you.
Yes.
Now another person you brought up is Summer Walker. I wish I was thinking at the time when she did the last album, Still Over It. You know, that has like the songs like Unloyal, Constant, BS, which is my favorite song off that album. I wish I would have reviewed it at the time, but at the time my mindset was like on the interviews and not really focused on doing the music reviews. So I wish I would have reviewed Summer Walker because I love Summer Walker. And then the other question that JF said, what artist that has passed would you both want to interview? If they were still alive, whew, what artists? Oh man. Oh, I just thought about it. Well, really, this is gonna be a hard one because it says what artists. It's a couple artists I would love who have passed away that I would love to have interviewed. One person I think I would have loved to interview, and I think it would have been a good thing. I would probably say I would have loved to interview Michael Jackson.
Ooh, the king of pop.
Like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, also the late Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac. Those have been the people I would love to interview.
For me, I would have to say Whitney Houston, of course, Selena, Nina Simone,
Oh my God.
Left Eye of TLC. I feel like our personalities would just mesh
I didn't
because
think
we
about
just,
it. You said
yeah.
that.
Of course, Tupac. Um, who else? Tina Marie. Tina Marie.
Yes, I love her. Now y'all bringing me back when you said Tina Marie, you know, make me think about my favorite song from her, Out on a Limb.
That is one of my favorites. You see, we have the same taste in music. And my last one be Selena.
Hey, Real is
My last
royalty. I
one be
love
Selena.
you. Ocean Wave 100. I'm reading me. I'm 100.
Hi, Ocean Wave.
Ocean Wave 100 saying what's up all is well. Definitely continue to stay positive and have a blessed afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
we grew
much.
up on real artists, Jay Evans. Yeah, you right. We got some good people. I see some. We got some good people on here. Bless everybody who's watching this interview.
And we got two more questions from one from Alan Yankee and the other one is from B Brown Actor Singer. B Brown Actor Singer wants to know what 5 songs could be the soundtrack to your life. For me, B Brown or K2.
Ooh.
Brianna Carter says you look great, dog. Me or
Um,
K2?
we both we're gonna take it as both love.
Oh, yes, Ocean Wave. I'm excited too. It is coming up. I'm super excited. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ocean Wave is going to be on Style
Hi,
by Stevie next
how are
month
you?
in October. So make sure you guys tune in for that interview. That is my birthday month for those of you who don't know. So K-Toops already knows what it
Yeah,
is for
V
both
Brown
of us.
for both of us. He said the top 5 songs that be soundtrack of our lives.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh wow. That's a real good question. That is a real good question. Okay, I can tell you some of the ones that are my top 5 songs. I can name them, so y'all forgive me. Okay, it's gonna, and this is not in no what's my favorite one in order. It's just gonna be random order. Summer Walker's "Constant BS" because I love that song. That's just one of those you ain't taking nobody's crap. Just like how the song "On
Right.
Loyal" is with Heartless, it's kind of like that. I would say Lauryn Hill and D'Angelo's "Nothing Even Matters" because every time I hear that song, it just puts me in a relaxed, calm mode. Brandy's song "Put That on Everything" off the Never Say Never album. I will also say Usher's song "How Do I Say" off 8701. That's always one of
Mm,
the songs from him. And the last song to end that, wow. Whew. Yolanda Adams, Open My Heart.
that's great. Okay, for me, my top five would be, of course, it's something with Whitney Houston. I would have to say So Emotional is one of my favorites.
Great song.
Number two would have to be, let me see, Aretha Franklin, Pride or Deeper Love. Number three would be Whitney Houston, I'm Every Woman, of course.
Yeah, I love that
Number
song.
four, um, what is my fourth song? Beyonce Cozy is one of my favorites.
Okay.
Number five, let me go back. Mariah Carey and Jermaine Dupri's Sweetheart. That is one of my
I
favorites.
love that song. That's a great song.
Top five comedy films from Ocean Wave. Who wants to know?
Okay. You want me to answer that? Okay, I'll answer that question for y'all. Comedy films, Hitch, the Will Smith movie Hitch with him and Eva Mendes
Oh
and
yeah,
Kevin
that
James.
one's fun.
Love that one. A Low Down Dirty Shame. Uh,
All right, are we back?
all right, we're back. Let me answer that
All right.
question. Let me answer it one more time. I said Hitch,
Yeah.
Will Smith and Eva Mendes, A Low Down Dirty Shame. Now the third one, oh my goodness, Girls Trip. Another one I would probably say, oh goodness, comedy film. Oh, no. What's the movie? We were just talking about that movie, Boomerang.
Oh yeah, that's a cult classic. That is a cult classic.
Yeah, of course, that one. And I would probably say for the fifth one, ooh, because it's so many I could think of right now. I could really go there with that with some other ones. But I would probably, if I want to keep it 100 with you guys, oh gosh, it's hard. Oh, okay. Why didn't I think of this movie? The Tyler Perry movie. Even though it was drama, but it was comedy. They more like the no, not really. It had a little drama, but the family reunion
Oh yeah,
because
it
it
was
had
some funny parts in it. Ocean Wave said not bad. All right, my my top five would be, of course, everyone knows this. The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy, the
the.
first one. The dinner table scene took me out. Number two would have to be Jackie's Back with Jennifer Lewis. It's something about Jennifer Lewis that sends me. Like she is so funny. Um, Number three, mine would be my top five comments. Oh, number three, um, what is another film that I like that is a comedy? Hmm. I would have to say Big Mama's House with Martin. That would be three.
Yes.
Um, number four, number four. Oh my goodness. I would have to say Medea's Witness Protection Program when she got in the airport. That scene took me out. Um, and number five, oh, oh my goodness, top five comedies. Top five comedies. There's so many out. Top five comedies. Something that really tickles my funny bone. I would have to say Meet the Browns with
Yeah.
Jennifer Lewis. I'm a big Jennifer Lewis stan.
Love
She is so funny. The grave scene. If you, I'm not going to tell you guys. You know,
that.
you know, you
That's
know.
the that's the that's one of the best scenes of that movie.
Yes, yes, I love Jackie's Back. OMG. I have
Yes,
a team tournament.
I
I could
know.
definitely have an awesome movie night with y'all. I have a
I
team tournament. I know who to have on my team.
team.
If I get on my team. Yeah. All right, Fashion Dolls, we got one more question from Alan Yankee. Alan Yankee wants to know, do you think artists are underrated or underexposed?
Both.
Yeah.
I would say both because you have some that the way the industry is going, they're trying to make them like either like Beyonce or like the pop artists like BTS and all of them, and like the pop artists like the Billie Eilish. They try to make them like them, and really their music is cute for getting around the house. But I feel like a lot of those artists, like the pop artists, I don't see a lot of real like feeling to it. They're
Yeah.
giving dark. It's nothing wrong with having some artists that have maybe their dark moments. Like Amy Winehouse did a thing when she did the Back to Black, but I feel like at the same time, you felt the soul of it. I feel like with some of these artists, you don't really get that, and then the ones who are underrated, they just don't have the push. So I
I
feel like
agree.
go either or, but I feel like it's both because you have some that they want to be like Beyonce, like I was saying, or they want them to be like either like how they did Jay-Z or like maybe like J. Cole or so, or like Kanye, or we know them
Mm.
as, but they're trying to make them like everybody an artist like that, but I feel like that's not fair.
And every musical artist has their own category of music. Everybody's not going to be the same. Tony Braxton is not going to be like in a, well, there have been comparisons with her and Anita Baker, but Tony has her own thing going on. Janet is
Exactly.
not going to be like Ciara, even though, you know, you see the elements of Janet when Ciara dances and in just a little bit of her music. What was that a Pam line, K2's?
Oh yeah, the Pam line from "Hanging Around the House" from Martin. Yeah, I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's one of
Yes,
my favorite
but
episodes, by the way, y'all.
huh?
No, because Alan Yankee was saying that's a Pam line. When I was saying it's cute for
Yes,
"Ying
it is.
Around the House."
Oh my goodness. Any more
Any more questions,
questions, guys?
guys?
This is such a great interview conversation, catching up with my brother K2. So again, he took a hiatus on us, but I'm pretty sure he will be returning back to his platform. So you guys make sure you head on over and subscribe to the K2 spot and Jay Evans. Check out his platform as well to subscribe to his channel. I have
Hey,
one
y'all
more question.
subscribe to Style by Miss Stevie or Style by Stevie. Okay, I have one question. As dancer, I see dance choreography is on the rise. What is your take on dancers who want to push for or push to a career? Um, I think we've all seen the dance choreography. Like, we have shows like So You Think You Can Dance and other shows like that. Even the one that J Lo and Neil did that got
World of
canceled.
Dance. Yeah, I think it's World of Dance.
Yeah, but I World of Dance, but I know they canceled that show. But you have a lot of the dance choreography shows. It's just that I feel like with that, who if anybody want to be a dancer, you can do it because you have a lot of people who started off dancing and are acting or who are singing. Because like for instance,
Yeah,
you have or entertaining because you have artists like Jennifer Lopez. She started as a fly girl, and then she was on like fly girl for Living Color. Then she started doing acting because she did movies like Selena, The Wedding Planner. Hey, Three Times a T. You have her doing like this, what we should say the rom com, and she did
yeah,
especially like what's the show the movie she did with Jane Fonda, Monster in Law. She did a thing on it. Then you have other people who are like Darren Jewett Henson, who you guys may remember him being a choreographer for like NSYNC, Backstreet, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. And look at what he did. He did Soul Food the series, and then he's on
yeah.
Carl Weber's The Family Business. So I feel like the dancers, you can have a career. You just have to have lots of, like a good village around you of support.
Absolutely. One behind you 100%. And I've interviewed dancers on my platform. JL Allison,
Hmm.
um, Okewa, so many others that I've had on this platform. Lamonte, Honda. Um, there's so many dancers that I've had on this platform. You're going for something passion wise. My girlfriend Steph, she's also dancing for us, dancing creative
Hey,
background.
Mario.
And so many others. Shout outs to my girl Blue Hayes. reality shows
I
finding love.
love that interview you did with her. I love that interview. And V
What
Brown,
Brooklyn's?
would y'all do?
Yes.
Yes. Would y'all ask? Did you see what V Brown said? Will we do a reality show? Would y'all do a reality show?
Oh, that's not my cup of tea. I stick to hosting and doing it behind the scenes. I have been offered to do that. I have been wonderful. How have you been? I see you all just coming in.
Yeah.
We are doing
We
wonderful. Y'all chat is moving fast.
Now I'm gonna answer that question right there about the reality show question. No, I wouldn't do a reality show. I would make an appearance because I have a couple friends who are
Yeah.
on reality. So let's be correct because I have friends that are in reality shows and web reality series. So I would make an appearance if they ask me to come on there. If they're close right by me, of course I'll come. But would I want to star in one? No, and I wouldn't want to do one about like trying to find love or what is it saying, or showing your everyday life. No, because I feel like when you go into reality shows, it could be a
Yeah.
good thing or it could be a bad thing. But I think at the same time, you put your business out there. When you put your business out there, you can really, really regret the privacy because the only time you can actually have real privacy is if you're in the bathroom.
Right. It's like Big Brother, literally. Um, V Brown singer, you got offered. Yeah, I got offered to do reality show. But talk show wise, yes, I would love to be behind the scenes, like hosting or producing or directing and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But to do reality TV is like you're putting a part of yourself out there. Like K2 said, you're putting a part of yourself out there for the world to see. And there's just certain things. I'm a very private person. I'm like Janet and Beyonce. That's why you never hear about any of their mess. You never hear about anything that goes on. I compare myself a lot to Janet and Beyonce with the privacy, with keeping things private, not letting everybody know your business. Who was it? Yes, it was supermodel Iman, who was married to David Bowie. She said in an interview in Essence magazine that you know Mm-mm. If someone tries to ask or snoop into my life, I keep certain things private. So no, I would never do reality TV or the web series.
No, absolutely not. But I respect those who have done reality and made a platform with and career with it. But for me, no. I could tell you guys that. So no.
Yeah, especially with personal family business, personal family affairs.
Oh,
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna support my family like
yeah. Anybody else have any questions before Miss Stevie and I say anything
that.
else?
You shot, yeah, she did shoot her own show, Blue
Oh,
Haze, definitely.
Blue Haze, I need
And
to follow
she
you.
was telling me a little bit about that balance of having to do the fashion booth, the boutique, and you good,
Blue
we
Haze,
got you.
I need to follow you, Blue Haze.
Yes, for those of you who are in the Atlanta area, please go and check out Blue Haze Clothing. And we just did an interview not too long ago. So make sure you guys head on over and check that out as well too. Doing
Mm-hmm.
a television show is a reality show. Reality TV is a different kind of TV. It can be good or bad. It can work in your favor. Because when something goes out there, somebody's going to try to spin narrative. I've seen what happened with these platforms. I don't even have to go into it name by name, but I'm just going to touch on this briefly. I've seen things, and that's all I'm going to say. Me and K Toops know, and that's all I'm sworn to secrecy.
We're going to
My
be quiet
lips
on
don't
that
speak.
because I know because she
So,
told me, but none of y'all
yeah,
going to know.
I've seen things, I've seen things, I've seen things. That's all I'm going to say. Um, Blue Haze wants to know, what is your passion?
Passion, what motivates you? My passion, because I know Blue Haze, you didn't see it at the beginning, but I'm going to answer the question. It's just, I'm just like music. I like entertainment. I like stuff like that. I just like to just produce stuff and just have fun, but at the same time, give my perspective, but at the same time, think about my audience because I would think, okay, if I'm watching something, like if I do a review of a music project or review a TV show, I'm not going to be playing it on the, what is it, playing in the background, because I feel like that's not fair to the people who worked hard to make that what it really needs to be. Because I feel like at the same time, you have people who review stuff like that, they'll be showing it right in the background. Like I have my TV right here in the back, right here where my thumb is at, and they'll show it right there. I'm like, no, don't do that. Because the whole point of when you're reviewing something, you give your opinion, but at the same time, you have to be precise and know how to articulate your words correctly.
Oh,
if you don't articulate your words correctly, they're not going to take you seriously. But that's what motivates me. I just like doing stuff that opens the door, because, like Miss Stevie said, even though she's one of my best friends and she's like my little sister, when we first met, we didn't really think about, oh wow, maybe I opened doors for her. She opened ideas for me to do stuff. So it's like, you never know who you may meet, that may be somebody that you have a connection with. And it'll be one of those where you're like, okay, it's right, it's organic. Because that's how it's been for us. And we've been friends for about, what, 2 years?
Yeah.
So it's like,
and the same for Blue Haze. I've known both of you for a very, very long time.
Yeah, because now there's some times, now when we're off camera, we don't tell you everything. We don't tell you everything, but we go for what we know. Yeah, you're right, Ocean Wave.
I will fight everybody chicken for her. Yes, she will. And Island Yankee be right there too.
Oh my
yes,
goodness.
And I'm glad to have that team of people behind me. See, it's good. Like I said, I'm very proud of you. Much love to both of you. Got to get to rehearsal. You trying to get all the tea. You done got all the tea. You want it. Now you're leaving us, B. Brown.
Trying to ask all these hard questions on us.
Mm-hmm. And Ocean Wave said something. Ocean Wave said, you definitely have to be prepared for pressure life is throwing at you. As long as you know who you are, you will be fine. Right. And this is the thing. I've always remained true to who I am. Getting into this, being a talk show host, remembering who you are is key. Staying humble is key. And I was telling K2's dad on the phone, and Alan Yankee even told me that, sometimes you got to kind of loosen up. Don't, be to the point where you lose sight of who you are. So, yeah. And that's why people fall in love with me instantly, because I have that aura, that light, that divine light. That people just gravitate instantly. When me and K2's first met, people thought it was like competition. And it's like, no, he's doing his thing on his talk show. I'm doing my thing on my platform and my talk show as well, too. And there is no competition, and we support each other. Whereas you got shows that are mainstream, like The Real and The View and The Talk, and people think it's competition. No, all of these talk shows support each other. They're all under the same umbrella. So that's what it is over here for us content creators.
Because at first, that's what like Miss Stevie said, they were trying to pit us against each other and it didn't work out.
He lying. Miss Stevie is mean to me. No, if anything, I be calling them, asking them what I should do and advice and stuff, and it drives them nuts. So, yeah.
He was joking on that. He just wanted to get a reaction from you on that one.
Oh, yeah. That's a good word to describe me, Blue Haze. A little bit of both. You get a little bit of both. But I've kind of mellowed down from the ways when I first started, because, baby, it was a whole lot of spice and ain't nuts. So,
I
it
knew
was
that.
a lot of fire. It was a lot of fire.
And
well, I hope you guys.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Let me say this one thing so people will notice, so that way we give you your flowers too. So you get my flowers, let's give you your flowers.
Yeah.
For those who watch Miss Stevie on IG, if you guys see her YouTube channel, she was having a hard time trying to get her videos up there, and yours truly is the one that helped her get all those interviews you guys have been wanting to see or probably forgot about. I helped her out with that, so that's one of the things I can give her props on, because she's done a lot, and I'm like, well, damn, chick, you got all these videos, and you got all these fashions, and people are now just starting to get knows who you are. I'm like, that's all I had to say.
Yes, he did. And when my other Instagram got, HACKED, he was the one who helped me retrieve all of my interviews. Right there. K-Tubes did. He was the person that helped me retrieve all of my interviews. Because shout outs to Conscious TV. I told him what happened. And he was just like, that's a catalog of work. Everybody, they were shocked that it happened to me. And they were like, girl, you did so many interviews with so many people. You've had so many people, and we both have. But I was devastated that night. I called K2 that night crying, devastated. And he explained to my mom what was happening. My mom was going down my throat, like, you allowed this to happen. Like, you know what this means? So, no, he explained to her that just means that you have to start over.
Shout out to her mom, because Miss Stevie, we were like, her mom was like, is this gonna be?
Yeah, my mom was happy. Yeah, he spoke to her, and if you come for her and she tells me that is true, that is true. Yes, he helped me retrieve all of my interviews. I will read you like a recipe, and he will. He's not lying. Oh my goodness. Blue Haze and Ala Yankee definitely are the ones that will get you. Try to come, and I tell them what's coming.
Baby, yes, when the library is open, OMG, ask Stevie, LOL.
Oh my goodness, this was such a great conversation and catching up with you, brother.
I gotta come back and we gotta do a part 2 to this.
Yes, definitely. And you guys can check it out because I'm gonna combine both. I'm gonna tag him on my channel. Exactly. Some of y'all know me from the old days. Yes, Babs has been the A1 day one, and she can tell you firsthand. She's definitely not.
Thank you.
Kate is amazing. I love it.
Thank you, Blue Haze. You're so sweet.
Yes, y'all make sure y'all are following each other. Y'all make sure y'all are following. Half of the people are in our Black content creators group, so y'all make sure y'all are following everybody. Everybody's shout outs to everybody. T, Blue Haze, B Brown at the singer, Jay Evans. Shout outs to Drea. I knew you are. I was like, this name looks familiar, so I had to figure out who it was. I went and I looked. So I got you, girl. Alan Yankee. Shout outs to all of you.
All of y'all who are in the comments, we love y'all. Even the people who are gonna be watching, because I know some family members. Once you tag me in this, they're gonna be watching, so I'll send it to them. But let me make sure, if you guys haven't followed me yet, follow me is KTukes85. That's on, especially I have Twitter and Instagram, which you guys already know because you're on there. It's at KTukes, which you see KTOOKES, which is at 85, the number 8 and the number 5. Put it all together. You can follow me, and when you go in there, I have my YouTube channel link on there. So if you want to subscribe to my channel, you can do that. And that's all I have to say. So, sister, Miss Stevie, I thank you so much for letting me be on your platform. And we're going to do a part 2, you guys. We could promise you that.
Yes, we're definitely going to set that up.
My show, too, so don't worry.
Great interview. Y'all two are the best, baby. Thank you so much, Drea.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
And thank you, Drea, for reposting. Tomorrow we have Patrick Kadeen at 3 p.m. and we have at 4 p.m. Taylor Byron will be joining us. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow at 3 a.m. for you getting 2 interviews back to back. I love you all, and tune into the K2 spot. This will be uploaded to YouTube. Give me a minute. I have to create our clips and things, and we will see you guys there. All right, you guys. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. Love you all.
Have a good one, you guys.
Take care, brother.
Bye, sister.